think we're very famous.
Sorry, we're rather late, but we've been planning some fun stuff. Actually, I just realized I put my phone down over there. I'll put it in the chair here and I'll pass it to you in a minute.
Okay.
As you can see, we're still getting our act together. We had everybody who
Today was
who
accountant
still
day.
everybody who still works at Continuity was here today.
Yes.
So,
And Rich Cirillo
hey,
came
they're
yesterday.
sold by Yvette. Hello, Dennis 4x4.
Rich Cirillo started it yesterday.
Yeah.
Because Rich Cirillo showed up yesterday.
And then tomorrow, I am lunching with Dr. Revolt unless he cancels on me.
Look at you, Z.
Are you coming with
you
me
a cool
tomorrow?
kid? No, I'm not.
Why?
Because I don't want to go.
Anyway, hi Sam Green, hi Ford.
Maybe. I don't know. I
You
don't
know
think
you
so.
want to.
No, I want to go away. I want to go on vacation.
My
I'm going
Yvette says
I'm
nice
going
Ford.
on vacation. Whatever vacation is to everyone else in the world, I'm finally getting one.
Well, no, to everybody else, vacation is like going away from home.
Also,
Yours is
with
just not being at work.
I just want to go play some hoops. I want to go play in the sprinklers.
Hey, Rich, speaking of Rich Cirillo.
I want to go to the beach. So there better be good weather. Because I'm going to the beach. I don't care if there's sharks in the water. I don't care if there's riptides. I don't care whatever we're currently afraid of in the water.
Well, at least riptides you can see from the shore.
Yes.
Woo! Riptides you can see from the shore! Woohoo! Sharks, on the other hand, they sneak up on you.
I have been with this show
Sam Green just came back from visiting British Columbia.
Nice. British Columbia.
Because, you know, our shows are all about Sam.
Yes, I know our shows are all about Sam. That is true.
It's like, F the rest of us, it is about Sam.
I'm doing a mural.
Hello, Art of JoJo.
There we go. No sound. No sound, Chris.
Happy Towers goes, baby shark. Actually, that was something. Okay, I don't want to spoiler alert.
What?
Never mind. Umbrella Academy final season. They get into the car and all that plays for like a 5-hour drive is Baby Shark.
Well, that's really depressing.
Yeah.
Please make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. That is Chris.
Nobody's asking about this.
Except I'm not going far, far away. I'm going 3 blocks to play hoops. And then I crash coursing a gym. And I'm going to the beach because I'm blonde, so I need a tan. And all the things that I used to do that used to make me happy.
Freaking everybody but me is going to be at Terrificon this weekend.
I don't care. That doesn't make me happy. And tonight is all about me.
As well it should be.
Yes.
Every night should be about Chris.
No, not every night. Just tonight can be about me.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to start this show. Today was a crazy... There are certain days of continuity that are crazy days. Usually it happens when our accountant is here, Terry Weberman. I'm convinced he is like just a badass who causes things to happen in continuity that then shifts the time of continuity in a different way. And then it's like 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, because he talks.
But he's always fun. But
it's
then
like
everybody
having Stuart
comes.
Sager come and visit. Suddenly you're 5 hours into it, exhausted.
Yeah, like I shouldn't have to do a show tonight because I've already done a show today. Yeah. And Marilyn came in for all of those who miss Marilyn.
Oh my God.
Marilyn is doing great. Marilyn is actually showing up at Terrificon.
Yep.
So if you guys want to see Marilyn Adams,
she'll be wandering
she's wandering Saturday. And if you truly want to find Marilyn, she will be at a poker table. Because knowing Marilyn, she cannot go into a casino for
without
counting
no, girls got to
without
play
hitting the
blackjack.
poker table. And she
Is
does
it poker
like
or blackjack? Because I thought she played blackjack.
she plays poker. She's a poker
Mm.
player.
But she
And
always
Marilyn
ends up coming
wins.
out up. Yeah.
Right. Marilyn wins. It's a rare day that Marilyn loses. And when she loses, you don't want to be with her.
Yeah, we always tease Marilyn and Buzz because the rest of us cannot.
Buzz likes to play slots.
Yeah.
Because
And we lose at everything.
Right, except that Buzz never believed me that I lose at everything, so you do not want me to do this. So he kept putting $20 in the machine. I kept pulling the stupid thing, which I think is the most ridiculous game out there. Boring. And he came back and he's like, well, did you keep putting the 20s in? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you didn't get anything. I was like, I warned you about this. And he's like, get out of the chair. And I just laughed about it.
Dad would say it every time we had a trip up to Terrificon. He's like, yep, Buzz and Marilyn are going to go play in the casino and we'll walk out of here with some money.
Right.
But none of us played. I mean, Chris and I, it was the dumbest thing. There was a convention, I think it was a WinterCon that was at the casino in Queens,
which is really sad.
And Chris and I, other than being at Terrificon is not exactly like being in a casino. It's like you walk around the casino, you don't actually walk in the casino. And Chris and I, I'll come out front to tell you this one. So Chris and I, who had never been in a casino before, so I nudged Chris. I was like, okay, Chris, you want to get in? And Chris is like, no, we can't go in.
No, we
okay,
can't go
we'll
in.
just take one step in. So we're both like,
we step in tiptoes.
like that. And we're like, oh my God, we're in a casino. We can't tell Dad. And then I went, Chris, you want to play a game? She said, no.
We can't do that. We can't do that. But that comes from Dad. I mean, Dad was never into gambling. I mean, I don't even know how
Mom was either.
Marilyn gets Neal Adams into a casino because it's totally just not Dad.
Yeah.
And yet, I think Dad was always appreciative that when Marilyn stepped into a casino,
she didn't lose money.
Marilyn always makes money. And I will tell you, I have sat many a drive, which is horrifying, when you have to get into the Adams van with all the comic shit for the 19 tables to be filled for Neal Adams land.
Mm-hmm.
And you're stuck in a car with Buzz and Dad and Marilyn. And Marilyn and Buzz are taking quarters.
They're scratch cards.
And scratch carding. And then
I won
go,
$20. I won $100.
We have to stop in the state of Connecticut because I just won $1 million. And then the two of them have to jump out of the car. Because you have to cash in. Like
in the state that you got it in.
I have no knowledge of scratch cards. I have no idea how they work.
Yep,
and yet they're telling me, like, no, if you win, you got to cash in the state. Now, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, we did a convention where it was a bad convention. Neal Adams made zilch. And Buzz and Marilyn, it was so boring that Buzz and Marilyn kept going and doing scratch cards. They drained a bodega of money on winning their cash cards to the point where Buzz had to wait till the next time he was in Connecticut to cash in
the rest
of his money because they had drained out this bodega of cash.
Oh, and Cirilla goes, the few times I gambled, horses or cards always came out ahead. Fuck you, Cirilla.
Yeah, exactly.
And Happy Tower says the slots are the worst odds in any casino. This is why I don't gamble.
I don't like you sit there and you pull. It's not even like the things do this anymore and things happen.
Yeah, it's all computerized.
It's all computerized. It's boring as shit. And like, what is the fun in doing this? I don't get it.
Well, at least you get to work out that arm, but then your left arm just ends up being all wimpy. Like wet noodle left arm. You can tell a person that's a casino goer, the right arm is pumped, but the left arm is a wet noodle.
I wish it was this.
Denton Patrick says video poker.
Video poker. Well, I don't know. Marilyn likes the going to the game. She likes sitting in the room. She likes playing the cards. And she becomes like this little card shark. Here's like little Marilyn. Like Marilyn is very little.
Marilyn's pocket size.
Pocket size. And yet she sits there at that card table and she plays these like big guys. And
fuck you, Cyril. He goes, that's why I had to leave you guys. I was bringing my gambling luck down.
Yeah, thanks.
Bite my lily white ass, Cyril.
All right, so we're going to carry on. Obviously,
Actually, I will say this. I can win things.
I can't.
It just cannot be something that I actually want for myself. I can win stuff for other people. It's like any raffle. If a friend of mine wants it and I could give a crap,
I don't even have
I
that.
put what? All right, Barnes and Noble was having a raffle for a cardboard cutout TARDIS. My girlfriend was nuts for it. She's like, I gotta have that. I'm like, you really want it? She goes, yeah. I said, watch this. I filled out one raffle ticket, put it in. Guess who won it?
Yep.
I did. And I'm like, here you go.
I want you all to know that Neal Adams and Chris Adams cannot win anything.
Ever. Not even for somebody else.
Not even for somebody else.
See, I can only win for other people.
No. Dad and I had absolutely no charm in the Luckville.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so what you're hearing in the background is horror.
Horror.
And I will say that like, what's his face?
Vincent Price?
No. Who's his horror in Apocalypse Now with the water in his head? Marlon Brando. The horror. So we are playing because Zia found down in her basement.
Well, see, I live in a co-op, so when people want to get rid of stuff that actually still works, they put it on a table in the basement. So this was sitting on the table in the basement. I don't know whether they knew that the little red tabs were the needles for the record player, because they just put it down. It doesn't look like it had been used. It was dusty, but it didn't look like it had been used. So I figured, okay, we've been telling you guys about these records since we got them, but we have not played for you what is actually on the records. So you don't know what you're getting. You just know you're getting a pretty candy apple red record and, you know, a comic book and a print. That's all you know. So we figured, let's play for you a little bit of what is actually there. So this is the side that is just like horror sounds. So it's like spooky sounds and witches and ghosts and werewolves and blah, blah, blah. So it's like your normal Halloween sounds. The first part has got a narrator that tries to scare you, you know. Like
the other side has Dad's story.
Right, but you told me to put this side.
Yeah, because it's hard to talk over somebody who's voiceovering Dad's story.
There you go. So if you guys want, if you're interested, we can flip it over and you can hear a little bit, a snippet.
But see how the record is a really nice cherry apple red?
Yeah.
Even though it's supposed to be blood, it is a gorgeous record.
It's nice. It's a little hard to see the candy appleness of it.
Yeah, you have to hold it in light.
Oh,
We're going to go on to midnight tonight. We're doing a slow show tonight.
We're not rushing this crap. I'll tell you that. All right. So this is, let me get where you can see it. You put this. So you see how nice and bright candy apple red that is. So this is the record that we're selling. This beautiful,
and it does have black
transparent.
that makes it look kind of like drippy blood in real life.
It's marbled at the very least.
Yeah.
But it is a gorgeous candy apple red. So on the one side, like I said, it has these horror sounds that you usually play on Halloween.
Which is kind of great. And everybody's now pushing Halloween. So we're like, duh, let's push Halloween. And then you get a 100 printed comic book, like a comic book that's only been printed 100 times. So really small run of Neal's Monsters, which this never appeared as a comic book, guys.
I don't know where the chicken comes in horror sounds, but if you're afraid of chickens, and also the cover is something that I colored. So if you like, I can also sign the cover of the comic book. But it comes with the record. It comes with this comic book, and it comes with this really cool from the original Peter Pan Records printing of Frankenstein, Dracula, and Werewolf. And you get this whole package together
and
this nice
is
plastic
coming,
sheath.
And one side of this is actually pretty good sound effects. So if you have a good speaker system and you can connect to a record, this is great to blast outside your house if you live in the burbs and run this as your horror house.
And I can be convinced to sell this record player if you're really interested.
No, we're keeping the record
We're
player.
keeping the record player.
Because we're going to play all of Mom's old records.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Can't have it. I was ready to let it go, but Chris says no.
No, we're holding this baby here.
So do we want to hear the other side a little bit?
No.
And I'm sorry for those Instagrammers who may have mentioned. DJ O Sharp says, I need that X-Men record. We don't have an X-Men record. What are you talking about?
It's an X-Men comic book next to the record that they're seeing.
Yes. It is not a record.
It is a Monsters record. It is a story by Neal Adams. It comes with a comic book by Neal Adams. The record is done by Peter Pan Records, and they were nice enough to print, I guess, only 100 red records. You can't buy the red records or the blood records anywhere else but Continuity. They do sell black records, but who wants a black record when you can have a red record?
I know.
And we sell the red record with the comic book and the print for, is there a price on it?
They're $50.
$50. Okay, so for $50,
Right, weren't we selling these for $50?
I believe it was $50. Rich, was it $50 for the record?
Yeah, no.
We need Rich tonight.
And for DJ O Sharp, if you are interested in the comic book that's sitting next to it, we will talk shortly. Voodoo Doll Records coming soon.
That's a whole different.
That's a whole other animal.
And Rich always says yes, $50 on that record. So for $50, you get the blood red record, which is really kind of cherry apple if you're lucky.
You get this great little package.
Right, one side of it is Neal's horror story, which is Frankenstein Werewolf Dracula.
Yep.
It comes with the comic book that is only 100 of those printed in the world. It comes with a black and white print, which is the original print that I believe held a lot of the credits to this record, was what was in the middle
Which
of
on
it.
the record, the credits are narrated by Don Westcott with the Peter Pan Players.
And these are the same people that did Star Trek records and Snoopy records and
Actually, I'm going to flip it over real quick.
all
So
kinds of
get a
records.
little sample of the story. It's going to go right in the middle.
Right.
Man, I merely want you to be happy. I wouldn't supply you with inferior material. Am I correct in assuming that we are at the final stage?
You are correct. But we will never complete that final stage until and unless I see Erica safe and unharmed.
You go, Victor.
Madam, please.
Vincent. It's Vincent.
Mind your dials and gadgets like a good boy. And if you look to my left, you see your fiancé.
I love how they gave him the old Dracula voice.
My assistants will guard your
So it's a cool record. It is designed for a young audience, but like I said, the backside of this record has a lot of horror sounds. It's very Halloween-y. And my sense is Z and I are doing a big Halloween that actually might start September 1st, or it may start tonight for all I know. So we're selling this record. Where's my record, Sadie? Hi. As everybody reads me like,
I'm just going to move the camera.
what's wrong with them tonight? Okay.
Everything is wrong with us tonight.
So that's $50. You get the record, you get the comic book, you get the print, you get this nice plastic envelope, you get a sticker, all for $50. This is limited to 100 copies. We only have a couple of these left, to be perfectly honest, guys. I'm trying to get these out before we break them accidentally. They came out last year for New York Comic Con, is where we showed this. So it's almost been a year that we've had these. It had a very limited run. $50 is what we're asking for these. So if anybody wants these, that's the price. Just write in the comment bar, would like to buy one of the records. That's good enough for me. And like I said, it is Neal's Monsters, illustrated by Neal. excuse me, cover is by Neal, and it has the illustrated story of what they're talking about on the record. And Ted Keaton is claiming a record.
Woo! You go, Ted. I didn't even see that. That didn't come up on mine.
Came up on Facebook.
Oh, there it is.
Okay,
I will
and
claim
because
a record
Chris
comment.
just wants to blow big bombs tonight.
Oh, let me zoom out for you.
I'm getting a big bomb, baby. To start the show. I don't know which way the arrows are telling me to go. And it's
Well,
not twisting.
Usually twist this way.
Yeah, I know. This one's not going well. Maybe it
No.
goes this way. No, it goes this way.
You'll watch you to hit yourself in the gut.
You know what?
Gut
I'm
shot.
not going to do that one. I'm going to do this one. Whoa!
Oh, it was too slow
It
covering my
stopped.
Oh shit, they're on the record.
They're on the record.
All right.
So it's a big star finale today, and it went into my glass. Yeah, I have stars in
Well,
my
that's
glass.
your own fault now.
And yes, big bombs
Star
are
Spangled
back.
Sprite.
Okay, so you know what I forgot? My little pads. I have no
All
pen.
right, do we want to leave the spooky sounds running?
Well, we can turn it down. Can you give me a Sharpie? Or something to write with? Like I said, we came from big accounting day today. And you all know what it's like to face your accountant, guys.
Oh,
Right? Our accountant, who we love,
The
is
one person you cannot be
came in
dishonest
here
with.
at 10:30 and left here at 7:30. So can you imagine spending the entire day with your accountant? And I love Terry, so hopefully he's not watching this.
Well, most of his day has nothing to do with accounting and more to do with comic books and movies and
He's a really cool accountant.
yeah.
So, okay, so we have Ted Keaton. So Ted, if you can direct message me, that would be great. I'm gonna.
Do you want your comic book signed?
Yeah. Do you want Zia to sign your comic
Oh.
book?
Speaking of Ted, he texted me the other day showing me a picture of the sketch cover that I did on the black cover.
Yes.
The deceased, the zombie Batman voodoo doll with the button eye dangling now. 9.8. Scored it again.
Zia.
Out of all of my sketch covers, only one of them got a 9.6, and I think that was a bit of a gem.
And Dad would be very proud of you.
Dad would be very
Or he'd say, "See, I gotta mangle those covers a little bit."
You're being too careful. Work quicker.
Okay, so Ted Keaton, direct message us. I'm just going to put it on this record, but we'll get you a fresh one. I'm going to put this to the side. So does anybody else want a record? If you're interested in purchasing something from us, all you do is what Ted Keaton just did. You write in the comment bar, buying a record, buying a Conan, buying a Batman, buying a Man-Bat.
What do you see, Eye of L.T. Gray? He just said, I see it. What do you see?
I see it.
But yeah, and even, if you don't have a record player, they're really not all that expensive to get one.
Are they not? I want
No,
a record
they're
player, and I have absolutely no records, which then I know I'll go record shopping.
No, you just got to raid the collection that Mom left behind in my apartment.
I would rate it, but most of that is actually boys' records.
Well, I'll tell you what. This weekend, I will FaceTime you. We will go through the records, whichever ones you want, because I actually do have a record player that I bought for Mom that can transfer from the record to a CD.
You have Neal Adams, Corey Adams records, and
Yes.
then you have the boys' records.
Yes. Oh, and L.T. Gray says Thor. I have L.T. Gray is the one that was eyeing Thor. He's on that.
Ooh,
side.
wait a minute, wait.
He's on Instagram.
Who is it?
Eye of L.T. Gray.
Okay. This Thor is here because somebody bought it.
Oh.
And Lance wants to see it. So that's why that is here. So that's why it has no price on
Do
it.
we know who bought it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And it's not Eye of L.T. Gray.
I don't think so. This store is available up here. So if you want to see this store, I'm sorry about that. I will even.
Oh, he says that's me. Okay, so you are.
Oh, that is him.
I was like, it feels like I think he bought that. Yeah. So Chris
knows.
just has that up to show.
Everybody has a price, has a name. It's crazy.
I know. It's
Okay, so is that his store?
I believe so.
Because I promised I would show it during a show. Does he feel he would like a bomb for tonight?
Yeah, he did not get a bomb.
Okay, does he want a bomb?
IFLT Gray, would you like a bomb for your purchase?
I will bomb your purchase even though you bought it after the show.
I think Chris just wants to explode things. Which I can understand that because it used to be my job to blow things up. But then Chris saw how much fun I was having and decided that she was going to start shooting me.
You can blow this one because I don't understand how these work.
See, maybe they all work.
No.
All right, so IFLT Gray, would you like a bomb? I think we're going to give you a bomb anyway.
Right.
I think we're there.
So this has been purchased. And he bought it.
He says, I'll let you choose. Right.
Well, then you get a bomb. If you let us choose, we'll always blow a bomb.
All right, careers. You may have to just hold this one lower because it looks like the twist point is a lot lower.
You think so? Whoa. Whoa. See, it's not so easy. Like, how does that one work? Yeah. Like, it almost isn't like reverse. I'm going to get killed by it's like reverse that. And this was the last time we saw Chris Adams. I want you to know from my point of view, she has got a giant stone in her head. Do you think they're fucked up? Excuse my language.
I think they just didn't perforate the...
Oh, you know what? It's much lower.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's much lower, and they didn't perforate the paper overlay as well.
Did you open it?
I need an X-Acto.
Get it.
I need a sharp metal.
We're going to go on tonight till midnight. But that's because, like I said, today was the day of Terry work. And after you've spent 8 hours with an accountant, you need to blow off some steam, guys.
What a freaking day, man.
Well, we can do this one. I have other ones. Okay.
No, I'm determined I'm going to make this one work.
All right. Well, you make it work for the next person. I'm going to blow this one. Here we go. Oh! I blow you up. Yeah.
No, it just gets a little bit.
He is still alive for all of those who think I just killed her. I should only be.
Why? Because I just went, oh.
I should only be so lucky that I killed Sam.
Excuse me, I am your favorite sibling, so shut up.
Okay. So Thor is sold.
Who makes you laugh as much as I do? Nobody.
Oh my gosh, she makes me say that. Okay.
I do not. You lie. Or as Mom would say, you speak with forked
all the
tongue.
people that have watched this for 4 or 5 years have said they finally broke. Zia and Chris have finally broke.
Oh, I cracked a while ago.
Okay, so what I have up first is my favorite, which is Man Bat. I'm going to sell me a Man Bat. So this is a very cool Man Bat. It is 8.5 by 11 by Neal, pencil and ink. And I want you to know that Neal created Man Bat. And at some point, I saw the original Man Bat that Neal did, and he actually drew it. All artists that have wooden desks, like I know you see, well, maybe Kirby didn't do it, but I know Kirby has like the wooden desk. We've all seen it with his cabaret and his ink everywhere. So maybe Kirby didn't protect his desk with a piece of illustration board, right? Everybody that I've ever known always put a piece of at least one ply illustration board. You tape it to your wood desk.
I think whoever had my desk didn't. I can't remember his name.
Oh, no, Bobby London just wanted to draw on that desk. Let's be real. If it was truly an artist's desk that never got...
He knows I have it.
Yeah, but Bobby London's the best. Mm. I mean, Bobby London, for all of those who don't know who I'm talking about, Bobby London did, he did Dirty Duck for Playboy. He did, I believe he did Popeye. He was always drawing Popeye.
Yeah.
Bobby London definitely did a ton of work for Playboy magazine. He kind of came a weird way through continuity in his weirdo kind of way that everybody kind of comes through continuity.
Well, funny thing, ever since I sort of inherited his desk through continuity, I'm like, I need to meet this guy.
Well, I think Bobby's
He's still around.
He's on the West
Yeah.
Coast. Oh, I know he's.
Had to go out to California, huh?
You'd have to go out to California to meet Bobby. Bobby's the best.
Hey, Bill.
He's always been the best. I actually repped Bobby London in my early days of repping. I didn't get him any work though, but I loved his work. But in any case, back to Man Bat. So I have a Man Bat at 8.5 by 11 for $600 penciling. Oh, I was talking about the original Man Bat.
Yes.
So Neal originally drew Man Bat. His first Man Bat drawing was on a board on his desk in the Bronx, and he drew Man Bat this big.
So
and it was on that illustration board, and for a while we had it. And I don't know what happened to it, but it was the first drawing of Man Bat. So Neal illustrated Man Bat, wrote a short plot of what Man Bat was about, or synopsis of what Man Bat was about, went into Julie and said, hey, got this cool character, and Julie bought it. And that is the beginning
Well,
of Man Bat.
I think what sold it was, how long do you think it's going to take for Marvel to turn Batman into Man Bat?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because of the whole Shazam
Could
thing.
be. But here is Man Bat, is a character that, yes, somebody wrote the first issue of Man Bat, but Neal actually plotted out Man Bat, and I shouldn't say that, and I will be killed later, as well as drew Man Bat, and as Neal would say, a character of, what did he used to say? Of complete cloth, full cloth. That he did the writing as well as here is the story of Man Bat, here is the drawing of Man Bat,
Right.
here's the character of Man Bat. So totally created by Neal, even though we give credit to Frank Robbins.
He weaves the cloth, it's just a writer cut it.
Maybe.
And so,
But Frank Robbins did write the first issue of Man Bat, but there was a very strong plot and synopsis that went with Man Bat to Julie.
Yep.
And Neal loved Frank Robbins because Frank Robbins went back to Brave and the Bold with Neal. So there was a lot of respect for Frank. And Frank Robbins also did Dead Man with Neal. And Neal took over Dead Man from Frank, from Carmine, because Carmine had gone off to become president. Frank apparently had gotten sick. I don't know what was going on there. And Neal took over Dead Man from there. So Frank Robbins and Neal Adams has this interesting weave of life together through the DC years, and Z is now making faces.
because I'm just remembering Baltimore Comic-Con last year. That was such a beautiful moment for me.
Oh, stop with your beautiful moments.
It was a beautiful moment.
So it's $600 to buy Man Bat. And what Zia is referring to is a lot of people have created the true history of Man Bat. And I'm telling you, the true history of Man Bat is not how a lot of people on panels create the true history of Man Bat. Yep. So, and I sometimes speak out, and sometimes
oh my
don't.
God, I want my soda and popcorn when she does, because it's so entertaining.
So anyway, I don't like to crush bubbles of people who make money doing panels and stuff like that with the truth. But if I'm on the same panel with you,
But the truth is the truth is the truth.
right?
and
But
should
if
be
I'm
out
on the same panel with you, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So this is Man Bat, pencil and ink for $600. It is 8.5 by 11. He is a total creation of Neal Adams, and people can write nasty
Whatever the
little
hell they
letters
want,
to me
right?
tomorrow, and that'll be fine.
So there's a moment on that panel that Chris turns and looks at me, and I get all excited.
Well, you know, there's one thing when you grow up with the man who does it, and there's another thing when you meet the man 20 years later because you're working somewhere at DC Comics.
Well, here's the thing: it's for much as like people who have seen
Franks
me.
with stars in them are actually pretty attractive.
I'll bet people who know me know that my kid Jade spent a lot of time under my table as my table gremlin, and people forget that Chris was Dad's table gremlin.
I was a table gremlin.
Chris was Dad's table gremlin, and from 60-something, 66, 67 on, what year?
I don't know. We lost Ben Casey. And I will say in the family, when we lost Ben Casey, that was a bad year. Like,
That's a rough year.
when you're a creative and your livelihood is something and it gets canceled, it is not a good time in the family because your rent bills still come in, your Con Ed bills come in, everything still comes in, whether you're there or not with work, you still have to pay them. And that was like a tough year. That was the year that Neal started painting and actually wanted to do book covers and did a whole portfolio of these. And I can tell you they were fantastic, fantastic illustrations. And I'm really sad that the only person that knows what those illustrations look like is me. And I keep telling Marilyn that out of all of the ones that he did this fantastic, it was like an old man who fell down, or maybe he was drunk, I don't know, but it was a man in a trench coat. And it was a real raining night. And Neal had a light that just like hit the guy in the pouring rain, and he's laying down at the bottom. And it was done in olives and browns, the Neal Adams palette colors, with the rain. And the only light is this like light from like a lamppost.
I wish I could have seen this one.
Shooting down on him. And it was like, you know, as a, God only knows how old I was, maybe 6 years old. I went, now that's a good piece of art, Dad.
You should do more work like
Compared
that.
to all the rest.
It's kind of like when we think back to Joel's pastels, and we're like, Joel, you should be doing this.
Right, exactly. And that portfolio just got killed by some art director that he sent it to, and he never got that portfolio of illustrations. And back then there were no, well, at least in Neal Adams' budget, there was no stat machines, there were no photocopies, there were no pictures. You sent originals out there. And if the art director had no respect,
they kept it.
They threw it out. They didn't even keep it. Even like when I was a rep and you went to pick up your portfolios, they would open a closet and they'd go, which one is yours? Now I could have picked out Bob Peak's portfolio, Neal Adams' portfolio. I could have picked out like a bunch of master portfolios
and taking them home.
And taking it home and said, oh, this is the person I read. They didn't give a shit. They just wanted that portfolio taken out of the closet. For all those people who wanted to like take artwork, this was the place to do it, guys. Go into an agency.
I'd have been like, they're all mine.
Because
I read all of them.
nobody was photocopied. There were no stats. There was nothing. It was a pure originals in portfolios shoved in the closet that when people come visit an agency, hang their coat. I mean, that's how open it was. And you could take any portfolio you wanted. Matter of fact, like, are you sure that's your portfolio? Here, like, take another one because I need to empty this closet. That's how crazy it was back in the day of advertising.
That's tragic.
It is tragic. So Neal lost his portfolio of art as usual because Neal is really good at losing his portfolios of art. But in all fairness, in this case, it really was.
It was pilfered.
So, I mean, I could have pilfered, but never did because I'm an idiot. Okay, going up this weekend to visit. Heard it might be. This is for those people who are maybe reading Bill Schaefer. This is the last weekend for the Krusty Bunker. So if you want good deals on books, and these are trades, Funko Pops, toys, comic books, dumb comic books, good comic books, this is the weekend to go to the bunker. After this weekend, that door is closing. End of Krusty Bunkers, which is really, really sad.
And if they still have any t-shirts left, get a t-shirt.
Get a t-shirt for the Krusty
Get some
Bunker.
bucks.
They have tons of them for when you'll printed the Krusty Bunker t-shirts. Everyone should get one this weekend. I will not carry whatever's left of the Krusty Bunker t-shirt, so you're not going to get it from me. You have to buy it from the Krusty Bunker.
We don't have very many left.
Right. Okay, so now this is only the second piece of art I sold, and it's only 30C.
Jesus.
Okay, so we have Conan up. Conan is 8.5 by 11. Drawn by Neal, signed by Neal. Nice Conan drawing. Can be colored by Zia.
Yep.
Which this will pick this piece up and make it gold. And we can, like we said, we can print it on another piece of paper and keep the quality of Neal pristine. Do a print. Zia colors the print. You have 2 pieces of Conan. The price for the black and white is $600. We negotiate out the coloring number.
Yep.
And there you go. And hello, Benjamin Wyman. So $600 for Conan. I believe this is my last Conan that I have. So, and I hear there's a Conan book. I know Peter Stone and Jason Adams came running over to my desk and they were like, so Chris, can we still get anything? Does anyone still love us out there? And I was like, what do you guys want? And they're like, there's a Conan book coming out from some company that I've never heard of. And they say it has Neal Adams, it has John Buscema, it has like everybody in it. It's a fantastic book. I need a copy of this. So I know there's a Conan book coming out. And when that book comes out, this little Conan drawing will be of value. Buy it now, because as soon as that Conan book comes up, I'm going to charge more money for this. This is $600 now to buy. Pencil and ink, Neal Adams.
Happy Towers is on YouTube, which is why you're not seeing this question. Is asking, does the Krusty Bunker have an online store?
I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think the online store is us.
Right.
But they do shows like we do. So if you follow them, they usually will post when they're going to do a show. I know Nick has done a couple of impromptu shows.
Yeah.
But if you turn on your notifications for them, I highly recommend doing that, because Nick has been making some really amazing deals.
Oh, yeah. Nick has gone and said, because we have to empty the store, guys. I mean, this is where, like, you want stuff, this is the place to go. Go to the Krusty Bunker, because we need to, like, unload the store. And that's what we're doing.
Oh, he says I want t-shirts. I think if you direct message them that you were looking to get a t-shirt, they will take care of you.
Yeah, and we have all different sizes. So that's
and if
not
they
a problem.
run out before you can get one, I will give you mine. Because you are Happy Towers.
They
and
won't
you are
run out
absolutely-
because, as usual, Dad prints a million copies.
No, but I will say this about the t-shirts is that they are printed by Graffiti Design, and Graffiti Design, who no longer makes t-shirts, made great t-shirts. I literally have 2 t-shirts that are more than 30 years old
that you
that
can
are
wash
that
every
you can
week.
still that you can I can still wear.
Right.
Absolutely.
I own personally one of the first shirts that Bob Chapman of Graffiti Design created, which was the Groove shirt with Sergio Aragonis back in, God, I don't know, probably early
19.
right, like it was like in the 1800s. And that shirt I wear all the time, and it still washes well, and it still has great color.
Yeah, because they print it in such a way. I mean, the image stays on the shirt.
I don't know how.
It's like every other
Graffiti
t-shirt I
Designs-
have, the image comes off of the shirt.
Right, and
not
Chapman
Graffiti
did it. But if
Design.
you owned a Graffiti
And I don't
Design
think you
shirt,
can get any anymore.
no, he closed his company. So
Yeah, but didn't he still have a warehouse for a little bit? Or is
he
that
still has
gone
a
too?
warehouse. I mean, you can look for Graffiti Designs. He may still have T-shirts up available. I don't know. But that was what he did in life. Was he did really good books. You know, he did Lieutenant Blueberry that Pete totally dies for. God forbid if I had gotten rid of that book when we moved, I would be a dead woman in divorce. He did Frank Miller's stuff. He did Year One. perfect editions of it. I mean, in some ways, graffiti design was ahead of Scott Doombear with the gallery books.
Yeah, I really wish somebody had taken up the mantle of graffiti design.
And he did a ton of T-shirts, and he had the license to do it for the direct sales market. So
the print quality is amazing.
He's the only one. You can own a shirt for literally 30 years. I probably have owned my glue shirt for, I'm going to say, probably close to 40
I've got
years.
at least 2 that I have for 30 years, easy.
Right. And they still wash well.
Okay, I have a Dead-Eye Duck and a Valeria Shebat.
He didn't do the Valeria Shebat. That was another company.
Shut up.
Yeah.
But he did the Dead-Eye Duck.
He did the Dead-Eye Duck.
Yeah.
He did Bucky. He did the original graphic novel cover. He did Dead-Eye. And he did Groot. Okay, so we have John Stewart. John Stewart, pencil and ink by Neal. $800 signed by Neal. This may be the only John Stewart I've seen Neal do.
Oh, like as a living soul.
If I die tonight, it's because I drank a star.
And the nice thing is that this was done back in 2017. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2017 John Stewart. Which I'm amazed that we've had this since 2017 and nobody's been wise enough to buy it and have me color it.
And everybody's a little about John Stewart.
John Stewart, isn't that like for the next generation the only Green Lantern?
Well, if I talk to people of the age of
your children,
20, no, not even my children. It's like Pete's nephews, which they're
so like mid-20s and down.
John Stewart is the coolest Green Lantern of all. They don't even know who Hal Jordan is because they grew up on the animated cartoon series.
Yeah.
And John Stewart is the leader of like the Justice League.
Yep.
He is the Green Lantern. Like they're like, who is Hal Jordan?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the old guy?
So there's a generation, which I will find that generation to buy my John Stewart. But John Stewart is $800 to buy, and Neal had a lot to do with the creation of John Stewart. So we just happen to be kind of going through the history of Neal Adams.
That saved him from
being
Benjamin
Washington. Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern. Well, he had a crappy movie, so let's hope that John Stewart has a better one. Okay, next up, Silver Surfer, 8.5 by 11. Pen and ink, Neal, $600 to buy. Original art by Neal, signed by Neal. Silver Surfer, which, like I say, colors up fantastically. Gorgeous. With Zia. So nice piece of art for $600. Color is a little bit additional on top of that.
I mean, if you like the gray Silver Surfer, I can do the gray Silver Surfer. But if you've not seen my Galaxy Silver Surfers, I highly recommend saying, Zia, show me your Galaxy Silver Surfer. Because it's fun.
There you go. Flash is 8.5 by 11. Again, this is an old piece we found. It is on the old continuity paper stock so that the art area is bigger than what Neal went down to. Mm-hmm. This is $700 to buy. There are not a million Flashes out there like there are Batmans. $700, pen and ink. Again, can be colored. And Bill Schaefer says, so sad. I very much seem to too many comic book stores close over the years and not that many new ones open. It is not easy to be a comic store. We learned that. Neal, that was Neal's baby, our comic store. And it didn't matter to Neal whether we broke even. I mean, he got upset when we lost money, obviously. But he could always save it by doing a drawing. And now we can't save the Krusty Bunker. And it's really sad. It is actually one of the first things that we have had to say we can't do anymore. And I'm sure there are many of those coming towards us at this point. But Joker is up right now for 8.5 by 11. This is $600 to buy. Pen and ink Neal, signed by Neal. But you're right. It's very hard to be a retailer. It's very hard when DC and Marvel don't really have their feet under them and are doing things that retailers can get really behind, and be able to make money and pay their rent and pay their bills. So, the Crusty Bunker will never, in some ways, really kind of die.
Because
Unless,
the Crusty Bunker is many, many decades old already.
right. And,
Technically.
and basically, as long as continuity is still alive, the Crusty Bunker will be alive.
And as long as there is an Adams.
Right. So there's $600 on the Joker, pen and ink. Original by Neal, signed by Neal. And I'm just showing the pieces that are a little easier to bite. We do have a payment plan. I'm going to put a man back. A payment plan where you put 1/3 down and you can make payments on them monthly till you have them paid off. You control how much you pay monthly. There's no interest or penalties. And once it is paid off, we ship it to you. So it's a very easy way to buy original art. I know these days, paying your bills is not easy. Gotcha. And we try and make it a little easier for you to be able to buy Neal Adams art by having our payment plan.
Right, and we have so many people, like a lot of you are regular viewers, but for the new viewers, you can always ask one of our regulars, hey, what is it about the payment plan that you like? And there are so many that'll go, I never thought I could own a piece of Neal Adams art, and now I don't have enough room on my walls for the amount of Neal Adams art that I have.
And even though things are not great, and I know food bills are going up, I can't, at this point, food bills are like, what the hell? But in any case, owning a piece of Neal Adams art, if you hold it for a couple of years,
It's
you
an
will
investment.
sell it for more than you paid for it.
Neal Adams art only ever goes up.
Right. And it will still always go up.
Mm-hmm.
It's, just because he's not around doesn't mean his art isn't going to go up in value. And you all know that. You cannot be a Neal Adams fan and not know the investment of his art is going to pay off. Maybe you have to sit on it for a couple of years,
Right. Flipping, not so much.
Yeah, if you're just looking to flip it.
It's an investment, which
Right.
usually means holding on to it for a
Right.
period.
But, if you were to say, have you done an Apple stock lately, Chris? I'd be like, no, it's been a little slow.
Yep.
The same thing would be for Neal Adams art, but it does go up. Everybody who bought pieces 5 years ago are making money on the pieces they bought. And I haven't really raised the prices on Neal's art, even though he is not with us. These prices are a little higher on some items, but not on all items.
And I will also say the folks that recently have been eBaying and selling off their Neal Adams art that they haven't been sitting on for very long are probably
getting
when
their money.
when they're
It was a
getting
little
they're
bit.
getting their money. They're getting their money. But I tell you, when the economy turns around, they're gonna go, damn, I should have held on to it.
And part of the economy, it's interesting because I lost my mind, and we're talking like friends tonight, and I'll regret this. I'll regret this tomorrow. But I got on the phone with Bill Sienkiewicz because Bill is a good friend of mine, and I can vent to Bill and say, oh my God, I'm losing my mind, Bill. Tell me everything's okay. And Bill brought up a good point. He's like, there's not a lot of movies going on. They're starting to all come out. And when movies come out, artwork does a jump in sales. And right now, if you own Deadpool or Wolverine, you're going to do really well because everybody's looking for Deadpool and Wolverine because they had a great experience with the movie.
Yep.
So, where we have been dead with movies because of COVID, not because Hollywood is making bad shit. I'm hoping Superman does really well. There's a lot of movies finally coming down the tube and unclogging that. I know there's a lot of movies I want to go see, and I haven't sat in movies.
Yeah, I know we were watching the previews seeing Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
it's like, I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that.
Exactly, and I haven't done that in a zillion years, it feels like.
It was like Oprah Winfrey going, and you get a movie, and you get a movie, and you get a movie.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
So when those movies come out, the value of the art of those characters also somehow rise with it. And we've had no movies. These characters have sit out there with no support. No one is getting my movies.
Batman 182 says, great to hear you guys. Wish I was friends with Bill Sienkiewicz. I'm friends with Bill Sienkiewicz, but I'm not allowed to have his phone number. Only Chris is allowed to have his phone number. And he also says, your dad was the best. Miss him dearly. We miss him too.
We miss him on Wednesdays,
although
I
will tell you, Dad has permanent residence in my brain. I hear him all the time.
He has done that to both of us.
Yeah.
It's like having a card in the back of our heads.
Yeah.
So, Z and I just
Dad is my backseat driver.
As history here, Z and I have worked with our dad. And, you go, oh, yeah, they worked with their dad. Yeah.
No, we have worked.
Z and I have been in the trenches with Neal for a very long time.
All-nighters and full weekends.
Right. And let's make the company succeed. So basically,
tooth and nail over stuff.
Exactly. And we have been in the comic end of continuity with Neal. We have been in the agency years of Neal. We have been in.
Oh my God! I cried under an office table over a client. That camel client, man. I did not want to face my father. This guy drew all over the comp. But go ahead.
Okay.
The trauma we went through, and the sacrifices. I mean, we spent so much time with advertising and not enough with our kids that
Yeah, I
we
mean,
busted our moms.
The family fought for our company. Anyway, I don't even know where it's going with that. So this is
that Dad lives in our heads.
Oh, the dad lives in our head. Yeah, it's like a
He's
chip.
always there.
There's a chip planted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have
Man Bat. This is so cute.
Freaking
love Man Bat.
My brother all the time that technology is hurting the workforce. Kids now collect digital stuff, no physical.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So this Man Bat. Now this is done like finished pencil render level artwork here, and what this was for was to help guide Jason in his sculpture, which is over to Chris's right, of the Man Bat sculpt there. The beauty of this being such a clean pencil is if you should decide, this can be scanned, turned into line art, and colored.
Oh my.
That would not take a lot of arm twisting on my account because he is okay.
I also want to point out the reason why Zia can offer that is because that's how close we work with Neal. Right. A lot of times Neal would say, Z, I want you to take my line art. I want you to make it this, and then I want you to color it, and that's going to be a cover.
Right. Oh, the worst was if he gave me something that was already colored that we didn't have a line art on, but it was colored dark. And I had to somehow give. He was like, "Oh, it's just a button." I'm like, "No, it's not just. There's not just a fuck the color button. I wish there was.
Yes, if we can offer something to Photoshop, it would be get rid
fuck
of the color button.
Yeah. Just give me the line art.
Okay, so we have 2,200 on Man Bat, which is a fantastic Man Bat. And I want you to know that the reason why it's a fantastic man bat is because of the fact that Jason was sculpting this, which meant a lot to Neal.
Yep.
And that this is a character that Neal created, which would be point 2 in that. And the fact that he was getting a statue of that character is point 3 in that of value. And the fact that it was man bat would be 4 in that. So this is a very well-drawn man bat by Neal for $2,200.
And should you decide to get it colored, he has a special place in my heart.
Exactly, because we're all Adams kids, and it means a lot when we can make dad stuff. I was going to say dad shit. Sign. It's shine.
Well, for me, there's all that sentimental stuff. But for me, there's also, if I could become a mad scientist and I could turn my boyfriend into Man Bat, I would.
There you go. Okay. Man Bat.
Because he's freaking adorable.
God, we're slow tonight.
We are so slow tonight. We're not even going to get to my stuff.
I've done like four pieces. We're going on to midnight tonight. Okay, next one. Oops, I lost my plastic.
Well, that happens. It's okay.
There we go.
I think I have a scanning man on this.
Okay, you do have a stick.
I better, because I mentioned it.
All right, this is a fantastic pencil. I don't care what you guys think. Because tonight I spent 8 hours with an accountant, so it doesn't matter what you think.
I don't care what you think. That's just fun.
Exactly. This is a fantastic piece by Neal. Why is it a fantastic piece? First of all, nobody pens it. As much as first of all, half of you love Dick Giordano's inking on Neal. So it can't be Neal's inking that you're all in love with. I don't know anyone who pencils as well as Neal. Of everything. I will accept there are people out there that do fantastic pencils. I will even say Jim Lee does fantastic pencils on the newer end of things. Even though Jim is starting to age a little bit. And in niceness to Jim, there's new people coming on the block. I will say Neal still has some of that very old school pencil to his pencils. Neal understands anatomy like no other. He understands perspective, even though I heard my whole life that my dad does not understand perspective. So I will be crucified tomorrow.
Who told you that?
I've heard
great
that
perspective.
entire...
Dad can even freaking fisheye lens without reference.
I have heard my whole life my dad doesn't understand perspective.
Yeah, I think from people that don't understand it.
No, these are people who teach it, so I don't know why.
Yeah, you know what? You know why they teach? Because they can't do.
No, I don't know. So anyway, we have Batman and Robin here. This is a fantastic pencil by Neal. The price on this is
$2,800.
All right, I am going to reduce this.
All right, for those of you who can't hear Chris, she just said she's going to reduce the
I'm going to
price on
reduce
this
it
one.
down to $2,400.
She has just sliced off $400 on this piece.
On this piece,
So it is now from $2,800 to $2,400.
Right. And what is the size of this?
That is probably at least 11 by 14.
That's what I think. 11 by 14. Batman and Robin. Beautiful pencil work by Neal.
All right, Chris has just sliced off a good chunk off of this one. You can put it on the payment plan. It has gone from $2,800, which is the sticker price that is on it right now, to $2,400.
I didn't mean to kill your happy powers. You were the last one I want to kill. No problem. But I think this is a fantastic piece of Neal Adams art. If you're into art, this is a piece to buy. Mostly, I actually love Robin on this piece. Robin's got great hair, got the keeping going on.
Well, and he's in an unusual pose.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many pieces you can look at that is like the same piece over and over and over again.
And I am very glad that I never had to find reference for the background that they're on. Because I would have been hanging off of a building for it.
All right. Overhead Frankenstein, finished pencil render.
Okay, for those of you who love monsters and Frankenstein and Halloween, this is an epic piece. This is from overhead. Like if you were in a tower or like third, fourth floor of a building and you hear a noise outside and you look down and this is what you see. I mean, this is like straight overhead perspective for like somebody who Chris says people complain that Dad didn't know perspective. There it is right there. I mean, this is a great overhead of Frankenstein. Again, this is a finished pencil render, so this can be scanned and colored and would be so freaking cool.
Happy Towers, a monster is still here because Chris really doesn't want to sell the monster.
And his price is $3,000. He can be on the payment plan. For those of you who don't know the payment plan,
Whoever doesn't buy this is crazy.
You can put a third down, which for this piece would
I mean,
be
outside
$1,000.
of Bernie Wrightson, and believe me, my love of Bernie, like, fuck him as an artist.
Is only rivaled by mine.
No, fuck him as an artist. I'm putting it out.
No, I love him as a person.
Bernie Wrightson was the best human being on the goddamn planet. And if you were a kid that grew up in comics and you were older than Zia, Bernie Wrightson is the only person in comics out of all my older brothers, outside of maybe Will Simonson. And Bill Sienkiewicz is not an older brother. He is more like a compatriot. You know, of my older brothers, which is like slightly older generation.
To me, they're uncles. To Chris, they're brothers. But
Right.
Go ahead.
Bernie was the only person out of all of them that ever treated you equal.
Yes.
And treated you like a human.
Yes.
And not like, well, I gotta deal with you right now because you're here. But get out of here because I want to talk comics.
All right. I will tell a quick little story that Bernie would remind me of every time I saw him later in years before he passed. Was when I was really little. I couldn't tell you how old I was. We had all gone as a family with Bernie to a petting zoo. Apparently, I had fallen in love with a llama or an alpaca or whatever at the petting zoo.
You know what that zoo is? The Fishkill Game Farm.
The Fishkill Game Farm. Okay.
Which is no longer in business.
Second day dropout. Go to nealadamsstore.com. Drop us a message on the contact us, which is there's the website right there. And I know I have a copy of it, which I can be able to help you out there. Back to the story. So apparently Mom and Dad tried everything, begging, pleading, cajoling, threatening, bribing me to let go of this alpaca, and I would not do it. It was Uncle Bernie coming over, cooing so sweetly to me, and telling me that he promised he would bring me back to visit the alpaca that made me let go of the alpaca.
But it was a lie. He never said you that.
I don't care. I believed him, and I love Bernie. So
right. Bernie's when you were a kid, going to his house. First of all, he had an iguana. Back when nobody had iguanas. You know, now it's like you see an iguana, you're like, yeah,
everybody's got
a lizard, everybody's got an iguana. But Bernie had an iguana, but he didn't have like, let's talk about an iguana this big. Bernie had a huge iguana. Like this thing, its body was like this big. And then it had a huge tail. And it lived in a tank that was probably...
It was a miniature Godzilla.
4 feet tall with lamps on it. And he was the first person who owned an iguana that I ever knew. And because I'm allergic to anything that's furry, it was cool to be in a house where here's something that's not furry
that I can play
feed,
with.
that I can feed lettuce to, and it had huge nails.
And it had a personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice, and it was like you're the coolest place on planet Earth.
Yep. And we
And
had
then-
sleepovers at Bernie's, didn't we?
Bernie was the only person that like invited us to their house as a family.
Right.
Yeah, like a Komodo dragon, exactly. And at that time, Bernie had a girlfriend who also magically made bread, which this also goes back in the day when nobody made bread.
Mm.
And the houses would smell of bread. He had an iguana, and then in his art studio, he had skulls, he had guns, he had all this cool stuff. And he was never afraid to let you touch it.
And I think he was like the original Doctor Who. Because that
Yes. I
that
would
coat
agree.
that you said Mom got for him? Or
Right. Bernie lived up in, at the time that we were going up there, he lived in, oh shit, it's going to go out of my head. It's the next Saturdays,
Okay.
which is right next door to Woodstock, which is right next door to Fishkill, which is where that game farm was that we went to, which again was a game farm where, like, we grew up in the Bronx where you didn't feed animals.
Right.
And you got to feed or bottle feed, or if you brought apples, you could feed them to monkeys if you had a hide in your sleeve, but I never said that. And Bernie, took us there, and that place had the greatest pizza in the world yet. It was little tiny pizzas. I don't know. Going to Bernie's was the best. He lived upstate. We were city kids. He taught us that, if you flip rocks in a river, there were fossils on the other side of it. And then if you took tracing paper and a pencil, you could trace those fossils off. It was just always an amazing treat. But like I said, he was one of the only guys that ever invited us. It wasn't like, oh, I only were Neal Adams. It was like he invited the whole family.
And for all that he's really known for like his macabre stuff,
Oh,
he was such a ray of sunshine.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so what are we looking at?
This is the Batman reflecting in a puddle, which is really cool. Which is another thing that I would love to like do something with.
This
I'm
is
not
one
sure
of the
what, but
coolest
something.
layouts in the world. I can't believe not some other artist has ripped this off from watching this show, but sooner or later it will happen.
I may be that artist.
This is Batman with his reflection in a puddle. Cool. The fact that this is priced at $1,800, I can hear my father screaming behind me right now, like, "What are you doing, Chris?" $1,800 for Batman with a puddle reflection of Batman. That is also done in such a design that the black and white equals the black and white.
Well, and the cool thing that somebody else pointed out that we're to notice is that the reflection of the black on the ground sort of makes the Batman ears.
Yes, the head.
Which we were like, duh, yeah, it does.
And this
Yes,
is
Benjamin penned and inked Neal. No, I penned and inked it. No. Yes, that was Dad.
original pen and ink Neal.
Trust me, if it was anybody else, we'd be representing them
And
right
what
now.
is the crazy price on this that I can feel that?
$1,800.
Fucking nuts, man. So
Dad
this
would say knuck and futz.
this is 8.5 by 11. Benjamin Wyman's buying it.
Benjamin! Way to go!
Woo!
I'm going to see if I can get this bomb to work.
I may be down to the crappy.
Here it is.
The crappy
No.
bombs.
Right.
Are you gonna try crappy bomb? Oh, I'm gonna get shot tonight.
Nope, this one will not
Yeah,
turn.
what is with the pink bomb? All right, hold on. Chris will get
I'm not butch enough to blow the pink bombs. Do you want me to try that one?
Wait a minute. I have pink bombs behind me.
I know.
I don't think that's gonna work. I think the pink bombs are not working.
The hell, man? I feel ripped off. I didn't even buy these.
Where there are bombs, there are more bombs.
Damn.
I bought a ton of bombs.
Well, that's good. I'm kind of kicking myself for having forgotten the 2 giant bombs I left at home.
Yeah, Zia bought giant bombs. We haven't had a giant
Well, the best part is I text Chris over the weekend and I go, I went to Old Navy. You know what's next to Old Navy? She goes, what? I go, Party City. And she went, uh-oh. I said, oh, yeah.
Okay, we're pulling out. For Felix. Here we go.
For Felix.
Yeah, it was Felix that bought it.
No, for Benjamin.
Was it Benjamin that bought it?
Benjamin,
It was Felix that bought it.
No, it's Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin, you smart boy.
Woohoo!
There you go, Benjamin. It's a gold rush. Woo.
Good hang time on that, too.
Benjamin, you bought a good piece of art.
Damn right. I have not been making notes either.
Now I have gold in my.
Well, you keep on forgetting to put a piece of paper over it, you
I'm
baby.
gonna die of some kind of poison. And that was the last time we saw Chris.
I have not been writing this down, Chris.
That's all right. I'm good over here.
Okay.
Benjamin.
Don't have our shit together today. It's not even funny.
Blame the accountant. Everybody does.
Well, we had everybody in today. It was Terry, Marilyn, and Jason. Usually it's just me, Chris, and Pete.
Everybody came. And then Rich Cirillo showed up
Yesterday, yeah.
So, oh, you know what I wanted to show? I wanted to show this, but I didn't price it. So I don't know what to price it.
Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know what to do. Oh, wait.
Okay, well, since you haven't figured it out, I'll put my shit up.
No, I'm
No.
this.
Wow, that was worthy of Mom.
That was worthy. Mom.
Now.
Ow. She kind of has what's his
Mom
name.
always sounded like a cat.
Well, she sounded like a cat, or she sounded. What's the actor that we're always making fun of? The one that said Saturday Night Live, the one you love.
Bill Hader?
No, the one that was in the Vietnam movie. I'm lost tonight.
Where are you?
I don't
maybe
know where I
Christopher
am.
Walken?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it was kind of like a Christopher Walken one.
Oh,
Okay.
Happy Tower sent me 4 pics of Bernie at his studio. That and Bernie was
Oh.
freaking cuter than hell, too.
He was hot. I
Yeah.
will give you that. All right. Back to the coat. Yeah, Mom bought the coat for Bernie.
Right.
We were in. That's where I was. We were
Yeah,
in.
have you ever seen
Woodstock.
pictures of Bernie Rice in a Doctor Who coat with an
I
overly
guess
long
this is a Civil War coat. That's what
scarf?
I thought it was. So we went into this used clothing store in Woodstock. Bernie, and it was Bernie. It may have been Jeff. It was definitely Vaughn. And I realized I'm in crazy land now with people. You were with those three.
Don't
And
forget.
yeah,
Chris's-
we were with those three. Anyway, we went into this clothing store. It was kind of like a used clothing store. We found that coat. And that coat is like a blue-gray. It's a Civil War coat. It's like, there goes the last gold piece. And basically, thank you, Benjamin. And basically, it had no buttons on it when we bought it. And the second, it was just like a messed up coat.
Mm.
Bernie put it on, and we all went, damn, that's a good looking coat.
Mm.
And then Mom convinced Dad to buy it. So we bought it for Bernie.
And Mom was quite the seamstress.
Yes, Jeffrey Jones. Yes. And then Mom took it home.
And
And
she
then
went hunting
went to
for
the
buttons.
dry cleaner, cleaned the coat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mom, being Mom, which is kind of like Zia,
Neurotic.
went all over button stores in New York, in the garment district, and found old military buttons. And that coat, because the top part has a cape, has little buttons. Then it has big buttons. It's got a million
Mhm.
buttons. And I remember Mom being button crazy. And she went and found buttons. And then she sewed all those buttons on that coat. They presented it back to Bernie. And Bernie never took that coat off ever again.
If anybody has the thought that artists are not neurodivergent, you're out of your
Oh, you're out of your
freaking
mind. Yes, I only work.
We
with
are
people.
ADD, ADHD, autism
Oh,
spectrum,
they're all of that.
Asperger's,
Totally all of that.
neuroses, OCD.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I should have an award.
Yeah.
Dealing with
we are just not
Everything.
diagnosed.
exactly. Okay, so what do I have up? I
You
a
have this
comic book up,
amazing X-Men blue comic with
which on a comic
an
cover.
awesome
I
remark.
love this comic cover. I love this comic cover. But I love when I
Really?
randomly join
because
the
it's
show and a
X-Men blue
piece
and it's red.
sells party bombs. Well, thank you, Mike. One of the benefits of buying from our show is you get a party bomb. Benjamin Wyman says, I'm OCC, so I feel you. Yeah,
There you
we
go.
all are. So, this cover has a remark.
A very, very cool remark.
And you know where Neil says it's about your brain and it's not about what you're drawing. So somehow Neil took the bottom part of this cover, made it Havoc's legs, and then drew Havoc's head and worked the art and arms and worked it out that Havoc fits in there, which is kind of insane. Because you kind of have to look at like what was the cover and then what is that
The
Neil
remark.
did with the remark with Havoc and how did he work it in. And Neil would do, I mean, Neil is such as like when you go for a Stan
That is
Lee-
very cerebral.
Right, when you go for a Stan Lee signature, he signs right across your comic book and you're like,
It covers the whole thing.
I just fucked my cover, man, with this giant Stan Lee signature.
Dad would make it work.
Dad always made little signatures because he was always respectful of the art. And this is one of, like...
Just like Chris yells at me to sign my stuff bigger.
Right, exactly. So this is one of those, like, Neal Adams cerebral moments where he
really
figured
thought
out
about
how to fit Havoc in there. Yet you're not blowing what's going on above. You're not blowing what's coming below.
Yeah, the story of the cover is still happening.
And
but you have this.
Havoc wedged in there is amazing. So what am I selling this for? I don't know.
You didn't come up with a price,
I know
did
I didn't come up with it. Well, we sell 1,000 for Joker. So I'm going to make this.
Shoddy Ski says Blue Texan needs X-Men Blue. Well, once Chris figures out what she's pricing
I'm
it
going to
at.
make 800 on this. And
Okay, so
everybody
this is going
outside
to
of
be
me just
800.
screamed. There was screaming.
So Shoddy Ski.
You know who's screaming right now besides Neil Adams? Nick is screaming from the crusty bunker.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And I want
I
to
was
say
wondering what
Jason
that noise
Adams
was.
is on, and Jason Adams is probably screaming out there. What is Chris doing?
All right, Chris is pricing you.
And I want you to know that tomorrow all of them will call me and tell me
What the hell were you
doing?
thinking?
And then they're going to be like, that's a $3,000 cover, and that's a big, and then it won't be this price the next time you see it.
And they're going to say Zia's not allowed to go
I'm
shopping
not
for
making any
beverages before the
promises,
movie.
but I will tell you, I will always be lower than Jason and Nick. And Jason is currently on with us. So Jason, are you screaming right now?
And Carlos on Instagram, Dad used regular number 2 pencils that you get at like freaking
Yeah,
Staples.
yellow pencils. I can pull out his
Or as
box.
Dad referred to them as secretary pencils, but
Yes.
they were the Ticonderoga
Which as
yellow
an
number 2.
ex-secretary, I always was offended by. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean by secretary pencils? I always used a Lindy.
They're the same ones that if you grew up in the same time period as I did, we used to fill in the test answers. You had the number 2 pencils that you had to fill in the little circles with.
Exactly. So we have 800 on this X-Men Blue, which is in really good condition. It's got a really fantastic Havoc, which Neil is the creator of the Havoc costume.
And although, yes, we can send this to CGC, we can no longer get the yellow signature series labels.
But who cares?
But
It's
who
a
cares?
fantastic drawing. Done smart.
Oh, Benjamin says, claim again. Benjamin
got it,
Wyman.
Benjamin
Yay! go, Benjamin.
Yo, Benjamin Wyman. Now silent. It's like everything went quiet.
That is pretty freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Benjamin. And I gotta start writing this crap down. I'm gonna forget.
I suggest everyone
bad.
direct message us tonight because Z and I are messed up.
It's been a day.
It's been a day. Not because we're doing anything bad tonight, but just because it's been a day. All right, Benjamin Wyman.
So he got the Batman reflection and this, right?
Right. Okay. So, where did my new bombs go? I kind of like the new bombs.
They're on your. Oh.
No, those are my gold bombs.
Oh, your gold bombs.
I don't like my gold bombs.
Sounds like Gold Bond. Isn't that like a
I really
lotion?
wanted to do the pink bombs. All right, here's a bomb. I kind of like the star bombs. Ooh, something moved back there. There's a giant rat up here.
Where?
No, there's not a giant rat.
Oh, don't do that.
I just
Where did you see something?
I didn't see anything. I
Oh.
heard it. All right.
Oh,
Pull out,
it's
baby.
the ghost then. We have a super that has a spot up here, and he's a ghost hunter,
And we love him.
and we love him very much. Okay,
And he
my
protects
ears are
us.
plugged.
Now that Dad's not here, he is our protector. Okay, are we all ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, you know I am the slayer of vermin.
You are the slayer of vermin. Yes. Ben being hitting the cheap beers and saving his money.
There you go.
Wow. Okay. You go, Sam. All right. I don't know where I'm going next. Do I have anything else that's cool back here? I'm going to do this Thor. Thor seems to be happening, and I don't know why.
He's so Thor.
Okay. For tonight only.
Oh boy.
I'm only going to move this at 1,000. So I have a 9 because I will be killed by my brother. So this is a 9.6. This is a Thor, which we've had this drawing for a long time.
This is a really good Thor, though.
This is a really nice Thor. It is him
Twirling
swinging-
Mjolnir,
Exactly.
because you're never going to come up with that word in your life.
I'm going to bring it down $100 because I will be shocked. It is a 9.6, but that's average for Neal Adams drawings. It is on a blank variant, Thor, God of Thunder #1. This was done in 2013, signed and sketched by Neal Adams. That was done in 22.
So you're taking it down by $100, so
And
it's
they're bringing it down
19.
100 to 1,900 because Jason is now crying, and I already messed up on one piece. And he's already crying, so now he's really crying. Matter of fact, he's so much crying that he left our show.
Oh, is he not watching anymore?
Yes, Jason has left the
Jason
auditorium.
Grant.
Right.
Elvis has left the building.
Exactly. So for 1,900 for tonight only. So that means if you buy this tomorrow, it's back tomorrow, it's back to 10. For 1,900 tonight, this Thor, which is a really nice Thor, pen and ink by Neal. Now I will say this in regards to CGC. You can buy this. We can take it out of the. Can I do that? Wait a minute. Let me think.
I think we can only do that if it's witnessed, being cracked and colored, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, but then I'll lose the yellow label. I don't.
Well, no,
No, that's
a
not-
witness, if I was at a convention and there was a CGC guy there and we cracked it and I colored it and resubmitted it to CGC there, then they can put the yellow label back on.
Right. Which we can
But
do that.
it has to be witnessed.
Right. We can probably pull that off. So we could color this if you'd like it colored. It would be additional money, or you can leave it black and white. It is a 9.6, which I know seems a little like maybe not. But on the other hand, most covers that Neal has drawn
Sketch
on are
covers.
9.6. Yeah. 1900. It is a really nice Thor by Neal. It is a Marvel piece, which there are less Marvel pieces than DC pieces. So 9.6 for 1900. Excuse me. I have the burps now. Or not the burps, the hiccups.
Wait, does Larry Hama actually have his own action figure?
Yeah, he does. Larry Hama's the coolest. What can I say?
Why is there not a Neal Adams action figure?
Because Neal isn't as cool as Larry.
Well, that wasn't very action oriented either.
Nah, I think
You would need to do like a Neal Adams doll at a drawing
How
table.
can you be the father of G.I. Joe, which Larry is, in all respect to Larry?
No, I hear you.
You know, I don't even think G.I. Joe would have survived without Larry Hama. So, like, you know, here you have Larry Hama. He's worked on G.I. Joe. He's basically created the world of G.I. Joe.
I know.
And then you don't have an action figure of Larry Hama? That's crime.
I think it needs a little button in the back that does his laugh too. Because Larry Hama has got a freaking epic laugh.
Right. Well,
But I'm sorry, I digress. I have taken our attention off of Thor here.
that's fine. Look at the rotating humor. Who said Neal's perspective was off?
Right.
I'll give you a list. When I was younger, everyone would pull me aside and say, your dad knows nothing about perspective. And I'm like, I don't care. His drawings seem to do well. Whatever he's doing is
He's
working.
selling more art than you are, so
Right, like I don't know what to tell you on that front. So, I don't know.
feed is going where, Sam? What are you talking about? That's a half sentence, Sam.
Sam, stop talking half sentences. Okay, I'm putting Thor back here. What else do I have that's cool? Oh, you know what? This is new. I found this recently. I stole this, actually.
What you got, Doodle?
I have a really cool Batman that we have not shown before.
Oh, this is like
hard, chunky Batman.
yeah. This is like hefty Batman.
Right. So,
This is like Pitbull Batman.
right. Found this in the drawer. It's mine. Put it on the show.
Yeah, this is Batman, like more facially muscly.
It's like tough Batman. Like, I don't want to play with this Batman. Okay, so for Batman.
Facebook went out. Did Facebook go out?
No. Where do you see Facebook went out?
I don't know. Instagram is saying Facebook died on me. Are others okay?
No.
But
Just reboot, baby.
yeah, Sam Green said feed is going, but Benjamin and Happy Towers are fine.
Yeah.
That's not us, man.
I'll secretly give a list of who used to pull me aside. So we have an 8.5 by 11 Batman here. I'm going to put a price tag because I think my other Batmans were, I don't know. I'm going to do, what do you think, Studio? 7 or 8?
I ain't stepping in that.
I'm going to do 800.
800. Okay.
800 on Batman. Penciling in cool.
Because you know how I come up with my numbers. Is I auction it. It's like whatever the auction comes up to, that's my price.
Signed by Neal. Cool piece. Neat Batman. Heftier Batman than some other Batmans we've had.
You know, he's a bit more like he's got that kind
He's
of
older. He's older like that.
but it's got that like pit bully kind of
Yeah.
you know, whereas Dad usually draws Batman sort of like the
Like
the
I
lean.
said, I stole it from the
gymnasty, and this is
drawer.
going
And if I
a little-
steal stuff from the drawer, then I must really like it. Otherwise, I won't take the heat. And because I'm taking the heat, this may not be here. So So once again, Batman, the price on this is $800. Pencil and ink. You may never see this again because I may have to put it back. But you know what? You snooze, you lose up here at Continuity. Every man for
Ain't
themselves.
that the truth?
Even if you're female. So very cool Batman. It's going on the table, see? Alright, I'm gonna go to a print. This may be the last of my Screaming Black Canaries that are signed by me.
Oops. You forgot to turn your plastic.
I know I'm turning it now. Okay, so this print is $100. It is signed by Neal. And I refer to this as the pink Black Canary. And like I said, I believe it is my last one that I have.
I'm so proud of the flesh work I did on that one. She came out so good.
Cool piece. Signed by Neal. Black Canary. Sam Green's feed return. The time spent in Instagram still haunts me. Sorry about this.
I would think you would know by now, Sam.
I
You
know
just
it
refresh your
tortures
Facebook.
you. Okay, I'm gonna put Black Canary on the table. Okay, I'm putting this Superman up. I'm gonna put this Superman up every week till the Superman movie comes out because I believe in the Superman movie. May not be Chris Reeves as Superman, which that may never happen again in our lives.
Yeah.
But
Maybe a little AI cameo, but
I do believe that we're going to have a good Superman movie. And this is 13 by 19. Black Canary was 13 by 19 for that. 13 by 19, Superman by Neal, colored by Corey Adams, signed by Neal Adams. $100 for Superman.
well, whoever does the next Superman movie, whoever directs it or whatever.
What's his face? It's the guy who did
Either way, whoever it is, needs to remember that the only reason why the Clark Kent disguise works is the behavior when he's being Clark Kent. It's
He
got
hasn't
nothing
shown-
to do with the
He
glasses.
has not shown his Clark Kent. He has only shown
Of the
his
Superman.
Superman stuff. But it's the guy that did. Oh my God! Who's the spaceship with the guy and the girl in green? And Batista. And
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardian of the Galaxy. Thank you, Ziggy.
Oh, it's Taika Waititi?
No, something Gunn.
Oh, James Gunn.
James Gunn is directing the Superman movie. He's done shooting it. He's done. So I expect
I hope
a
he did
good Superman movie. Or I personally am going to walk into DC and go, what the hell, dudes? Thank you, Benjamin.
I mean, the brilliance of the disguise of Clark Kent was best laid out by Christopher Reeve, because when he was Clark Kent,
Oh, he was an adorable Clark.
he was an adorable Clark Kent, but you believe that he could not stand up to it. He was not the hero. He's the sweetest guy, but not the hero type. Right. And when he switched into Superman, he was so confident and so there that it was completely two different characters. And that is the hardest part about doing a
Do you
Superman
know that I
film.
helped Chris Reeves up? And the bad part was I had just met when they hired Chris Reeves to do Superman. They actually brought him up to the studio to meet Dad.
What?
Yeah,
Where the fuck was I?
you were too little, Z.
Jesus, story of my goddamn life.
Well, you can see the black and white. Oh, here she is.
Story of my life. I was either not there or I was at continuity working on a freaking
But
job.
here's the bad part. So, I have to be professional. So you act like, oh, you're just a regular Joe Schmo. You can't act like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. You're playing Superman. Oh my God. And you're an actor and you're Hollywood. And this is like back in 70, I don't know, it feels like 78.
I was 8 years old. I
Or
wasn't
70.
baby.
No, it must have been earlier than that. But in any case, I was at Bankers Trust on 48th and Madison, making a deposit for a continuity. And who falls down coming out of the revolving doors on a piece of ice? But Chris Reeves in front of me. So he moves out of the revolving door, but he can't get up because he's still skidding on a piece of ice that he originally had fallen down on.
Okay, so this is 6'1".
Yeah, and
Chris
I
Reeves
stepped out and go,
being
"Can I
held
help
to his
you?"
feet by 5'5" Chris.
I'm not even 5'5". I'm 5'1 3/4".
Okay, I was being nice.
And everybody laughs at my 3/4 that I hold on to. And now that I'm old, I'm probably shorter than that. But in any case, I step outside and I go, "Can I help you?" And I literally helped him up. And he didn't remember me, fuck you, from continuity, that I had met him actually literally like 3 weeks earlier at continuity. And I ended up helping him up off of ice coming out of a revolving door at a Bankers Trust.
Well, there you go.
I saved Superman. And I was so good. I didn't even say anything about, well, I'm Neal Adams' daughter, or any of that stuff, or I met you 3 weeks ago. And that's my...
Now that you've had an embarrassing moment, let me tell you, I've met you before.
And then I ran into him again, and then he literally sat one row in front of me, one seat over in, I don't remember, I went with Marshall Rogers to a play, and he literally was one row, one seat over from me and Marshall, and it was like some spy show, and he was in the audience. And once again, he didn't even remember me from continuity picking him up, being the play. in the
Yeah, you have a rather distinctive face too, so that's
it
weird.
did not work on him. I'll tell you that much. And I was always cool when I met him. I was never like, oh, I know who you are.
I also want you to know, everybody in my freaking family has met Debbie Harry, but me too.
I've never met Debbie Harry. I have met Robin Williams.
Fuck you, when?
I went to a play. You want to meet actors, go to plays on Broadway. Okay, back to what I'm supposed to do, which is artwork. So I have Batgirl. Now this Batgirl piece we have in black and white, which originally went for $1,500. We then colored it for an additional $400. Had to do my math. $400. That brings it up to $1,900. So you get the original black and white pen and ink by Neal, the original color by Zia, for the price of $1,900. This is a deal steal. The original black and white is signed by Neal. The original color should be signed by Zia, which I believe it is.
Yeah.
You get both pieces for the price of $1,900. Now, we did this to show you what I'm talking about in that keep your art pristine of Neal, color a print, which that's what this is. No one will ever know it's a print. Because if I did this, you would believe you're buying an original art with color for $1,900. And that's not what you're doing. You're buying a print of color and you're buying the black and white. So this is a nice buy for $1,900. Batgirl.
It's right, Chris knows all the famous people. Because I was always either too young or, oh wait, there's another one. Like Chris was there helping out, and then here are my sons Joel and Jason.
Sorry. There's some benefits and some regrets of being the oldest in the family. You could have babysat all three of us.
I'm still your favorite, though.
Maybe.
You love me best. Who makes you laugh more than I did? Who gets you margarita mix when we've had a rough day?
You do.
Thank you.
Okay. You win that one.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up. I'm going to do this one.
Who, when I see you having a really bad day, says Mad Dog and Beans?
You do.
Thank you.
Because I like Mexican.
Chimichangas.
Chimichangas.
Time to
Who
get the
eats
chimichangas.
Isn't it Ninja Turtles?
No, that's Deadpool. Time to make the chimichangas.
No, I guess I have Deadpool disease.
You do. Things get bad. Bring Chris
Make
a
a
chimichanga.
chimichanga.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. 11 by 14. Gorgeous piece of art by Neal. Gorgeous coloring by Zia. Whew, this was part of the animation that Neal was showing because the first punch was the second.
This is the second punch.
Right.
So first was an uppercut by the Joker hitting. No, it was a left cross by Joker hitting Batman. Then it's the down punch by Joker hitting Batman. And then Batman comes in with the uppercut and knocks a couple of teeth out of Joker's mouth.
Right. So Zia has taken the second position, colored it. Original pen and ink by Neal. This is original art by Neal. Colored by Zia. Signed by Neal. And will be
so excited.
Signed by Zia for 2,000. 11 by 14. I used to see a lot of Broadway. But Broadway plays has a lot of actors go to Broadway plays.
I know. I actually went to see Christopher Walken in a Irish play that was supposed to take place on Christmas, and it was like such a miserable. It was like everybody was miserable. I can't remember the name of it, and I really wanted to wait to get Christopher Walken's autograph on the playbill, but I was too afraid.
But a lot of, I met everybody I've met because they sat near me in a play of other actors acting the play. So a lot
you know who
of actors,
sat near me in a play? Peter Farraga.
I will remain silent on
And
that.
he actually took me to the artsy plays
Don't go
and
to artsy
stuff.
plays.
No, it was kind of awesome because I got to see it was Baryshnikov
Oh, that's cool.
and Willem Dafoe doing weird
Don't
Russian
even talk to me.
play stuff.
Don't
Yeah, I
talk
didn't get to meet them. I just saw them.
Well, if you make googly faces at people, they pay attention to you, see?
Yeah, well, I can't make googly
Well,
face.
you need to practice that.
And do you know more? This lady is my sister and Neal Adams' daughter, Christine.
What?
Said Dino Moore said, "Who is this lady?" This lady is Christine,
Adams.
Neal's eldest daughter. I am Neal's youngest daughter, Zia, and we are representing the clan De Adams.
And we have worked with our father for 1,000,000 years.
We're just-
more so than being Zia Adams and Chris Adams, daughters of Neal Adams. Who gives a shit if you're a daughter of Neal Adams?
Right.
But the fact that we have worked with Neal Adams for over, and that means really work for Neal Adams, not oh yeah, I hung with Dad while he drew stuff, but actually worked with Neal Adams for over.
We were in the trenches.
30 years or 40 years, depending on which one of us you want to pick. So, you go up to any artist and you say, "Who's Chris Adams?" and they'll go, "What do you want to know?" Okay, what are we looking at? We're looking at Detective 1000.
That's okay, Dina. Chris and I just get overlooked way more often than we really deserve.
This is a Batman spread. Well, I'm going to actually put this out there.
You put it out there,
I'm
girl.
going to put it out there. Most kids of artists do not work with their parents. And
yes, they go into something completely
most
different.
Kids of art, actually, it's usually grandchildren of artists that want to recreate their grandparents'
Right.
because you love your grandparents. You can do nothing bad with your grandparents. I would
Yeah.
go back to my grandparents. If you said, Chris, you can click your heels and go back to grandma and grandpa, I would be there in a second. And grandparents are the best. So you have a lot of grandchildren, like the Frazetta grandchildren really love their grandfather. Z and even the Kuberts, Adam and Andy worked with Joe, but they were always Adam and Andy who worked with Joe. I mean, Adam and Andy were allowed to create their own persons. Z and I have worked under the umbrella of different circumstance.
Because behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, behind Neal Adams for many, 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 many years. So when we come out and we say, oh, we're the daughters of Neal Adams, Chris and Zia, it's a little like
there's more to it than
there's
that.
more to it than that.
There's fathoms more to it than that.
Right. So what we're looking at is a spread from Detective 1000. This is a pen and ink original published page from Detective 1000, a gorgeous Batman piece, which makes this piece more valuable by the bigness of Batman. It is also a great Batman pose. Even behind Batman, the building he is squatting in front of is an amazing building. So that top left hand side of this is the money maker of this original spread. We're selling the spread for $9,000. This can go on the payment plan. I believe somewhere on here he signed it. I always forget. He signed it
in the
snow.
Yep.
So it is a signed piece by Neal. Detective 1000 is where this comes from. And it is a price of $9,000 because it is a spread. And can be put on the payment plan. Amazing piece of art. Gorgeous, really nice Batman here, guys. And we all know if you got Batman on your page, that page is worth money.
Especially if it's a Neal Adams Batman.
I have learned that from many an art dealer out there.
Yep.
You got a good Batman, that page is worth money.
And this is a double page spread. Usually a single page will go for more than the price tag on this double page spread.
No, this isn't the same price and nobody like, where? So $9,000 on this. Happy Joe says this is my holy grail. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side.
Okay, Fernando Files 4 says, how much are these CGC slabs, the Green Lantern and the Thor?
Ooh. Okay, Green Lantern, if you're talking about this one, which is really the only one I see. This is a 9.8 yellow label for $150. I'm gonna put it out there. And what did you say, Thor?
Thor. I'm assuming the only Thor we have is the art one, yeah.
Right, which the art one, which I can't take out of the plastic. This is $1,900 on the Thor for tonight.
So that's the $150 Green Lantern signed yellow label, and the Thor, which is an original art sketch cover on a blank. So that is original Neal Adams pencil and ink on a blank sketch cover for $1,900 tonight only.
Right.
And I will also mention that since the Thor is original art, even though it is on a slab cover, does fit into our payment plan. Payment plan works is you put 1/3 of the total price down as a down payment. The rest you pay monthly in increments that you decide. There are no penalties. There are no interest fees. So as long as you do something as a monthly payment,
We're good.
we're good. And the reason why we ask that you make at least something of a monthly payment, whether it's $20, $100, $1,000, whatever it is to keep you current and to keep it on your mind, and so that you don't lose track of it. We don't lose track of it here, because we've had people that have, like, from like 4 years ago and are suddenly like, well, where's my piece? It's like, well, we haven't heard from you in 3 years.
No, we don't have it because we have it.
I mean, we have
like,
it. We have it, but it's like,
dude.
we haven't heard from you in a million years. So,
Right.
don't get mad at us because we didn't come harping on you.
Right.
So, payment plan, 1/3 down as a down payment, the rest in increments that you decide on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So
And
this
I will
store,
say, the 9.8 Green Lantern that's out there, if you watch old Neal Adams videos of our show, he'll tell you this is actually one of his personal, like you guys always ask, what's your personal favorite cover?
Yeah.
Right, and Neal will say this was actually one of his personal favorites, and everybody goes, wrong answer, Neal
Yeah.
Adams.
Well,
It has to be a Ra's al Ghul cover or
or
whatever,
a Batman or something.
or whatever cover you're in love with.
And from what I can tell on this particular piece is Dad didn't get a lot of opportunity to do a cover where a character is smiling and enjoying themselves.
That is true. So supposedly
For
what
some
is going
reason.
on here is they're with this alien plant that supposedly has kind of a LSD effect on Green Lantern, Green Arrow, which is the reason why they are smiling.
Yeah, I seem to be not getting electricity, so I'm gonna run and go grab a brick.
No
Real quick.
electricity! Oh my god,
I don't know
Zia!
why.
Okay, so Zia's gonna do her pieces. I'm gonna do one last piece of my pieces. Put Thor back here. And, whoa, nothing back here. And wait a minute, I gotta put Green Lantern back in his bag.
Alright, I don't have a brick.
So right, we're gonna end with you, Z.
You're in what?
We're gonna end with you.
You're gonna end with me,
Do
okay.
you want to change places? You want to come over here?
If you like.
If you use my phone, I'll use your
Yeah.
phone.
Well, I just need to. All right. I will put up a book to start with just so I can focus things so Chris doesn't have to worry about.
God forbid,
Changing-
just focus thing.
Well, no, this one's a pain in the ass. This one's fine, but that one's a pain in the ass.
Okay. It's Neal Adams.
It's Faja. Okay, come here. I'm going to show you a thing or two. Come here.
No, I don't want to see anything. I want to sell Neal Adams.
Oh, okay, you saw Dad
So
then.
just so you know, because Zia sometimes points us out when she's selling stuff, but I'll let you know. So basically, it is
Don't
a
whisper,
picture
then I won't
of
hear you.
Dad, and the needle, which is of the voodoo doll, is inking the actual cover. He is drawing. Okay, I'm going to.
And the fun thing is, I also left part of what he's inking on his table as pencil. So it's an unfinished, he's still working on it.
Yeah, but the cooler part is that it is the needle that is inking.
Yes.
And I want you to know today, because we had an accountant meeting for 8 hours of your continuity, which is mind-boggling. Because you guys bitch about like, oh, I saw my accountant today for 20 minutes when you have to pay your taxes on April 15th. And we have him come up here like twice a month for an 8-hour day, even though we love him. Basically, he saw this today for the first time in a way, and he was like, that is so Neal Adams. Like, I cannot believe how much that is Neal. And I was like, well, what do you expect? It's Zia. And I mean, Terry has been up here he's been our accountant since 45th Street. We've been here 23 years. He's probably been with us for over 30 something years. And he loves my dad. So he looked at this and was like, holy crap, that is like so Neal. It's his jacket, it's his shirt, it's his tie, it's his coat. And I said, yeah, the Hello Kitty tin that Marilyn always had at the table. So
That
if
was
you've
the
ever
kitty.
gone to a convention, you know that tin is like it.
Right.
Because they always put like their money in the Hello Kitty tin.
And I also, for this image, I have left his tie logo-less. So whoever purchases this can choose
Oh my God, what's on Dad's
which
tie?
logo goes on Dad's tie.
Which
So-
usually had to be like a cartoon character, actually.
That is true. So this cover for tonight, usually this goes for more because it is Dad and he is drawing on it. This,
So what? Wait a minute. Before you start pricing shit, see,
yes.
what is the cover that he's drawing? Like, what issue number? This is where
You're gonna
he's
ask
going to
me-
be like,
Okay,
I don't
so
know what issue number I drew.
I don't know what issue number it was I drew, but it is the cover where Cyclops. It's called The Last X-Man, and it is Cyclops as the last standing X-Man against the Sentinels. And those of you who are Neal Adams fans, when it comes to the X-Men, you know this cover. It is on that big X-Men.
Ted Keene says it's a great Zia.
Thank you. And
So
it
what
is,
cover is it, guys? This is where we lean on you because Zia and I are idiots. So what cover is
no,
this?
I had it on the sketch cover that I actually did Voodoo Dolls of the cover. I just forgot to put it on this one.
Mhm.
Benjamin says X-Men 59 or so. That sounds close.
Thank you, Benjamin. So there you have Neal Adams inking with his little needle to prove he's a voodoo doll.
Yep.
And Zia's left pencil behind. She's inking the piece. It's supposedly X-Men 59.
Right.
I'm
These
sure an
covers,
important cover in the land of Neal Adams.
these sketch covers normally go for between $500 and $700. Tonight, this one is $300.
Woo, woo, woo!
And
Zia's.
Brent says, "Yep, 59." This is
Okay, so Zia's selling this for $300 tonight. You get yourself, and I want you to know, Dad did have green eyes.
Yep.
Dad did wear a blue shirt. Dad did wear a director's jacket. Dad did drink Diet Coke.
Yep, and I even hand lettered that Diet Coke label too, which
Whoa, look at Zia, old school and Diet Coke logo. And if you ever went to a convention, no matter what, you cannot tell me when you got up to Neal Adams' table
you did
that is not what Neal Adams looked like. Because that is a total Neal Adams position. That is totally how he greeted people. That is a total Neal Adams hairline.
It's called reference.
And that's how he looked. I mean,
Yes.
he totally knocked it out of the park. So the price on this X-Men is $300. This is pencil, ink, and color by Zia Adams, Neal's youngest daughter, who has worked with Neal for how many years have you worked with Zia? Too many years.
Over 30.
Right, over 30 years with Neal. And I want you to know that when Zia worked with Neal, not only has she done coloring, which a lot of you know about, but Zia did a lot of editorial with Neal on animation.
I morphed whole planets.
Screw the planets. But you worked on...
Hey, I spent 15 years on those freaking
but
planets,
you
so let's
spent
not
like
forget those
15
planets.
years doing animation
Yes.
of commercial work, where
Yes.
she would take, like, Dad is drawing little heads with little eyeballs, and Zia would always go, I have to fix that eye. And she would move an eye over because Dad wouldn't place the eye 100%. And Zia knows Neal Adams' artwork backwards and forwards. And this is Zia's dad that she's drawing and had him draw an X-Men cover. So this is like really personal on some levels, really cute. She's nailed Neal to the point where an accountant came in and went, holy crap, that's so Neal Adams.
That and Ford Dolan now uses this face as
That's
his
right.
avatar.
Because Ford bought the first one.
Yep,
So what
Ford
Z
bought the
is
first
doing is she has done the Neal Adams part of it. Each one of the sketch covers that comes out, she'll put whatever Neal Adams is drawing is different on every single
Benjamin
one of these.
Wyman is claiming Neal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Benjamin. I'm going to put your name on it because this does
You have
not
to
go.
blow the button first if you're going to be big. No, you have to do it right. You have to go bam, it's long, and then little ones. So you have to do a long one. Now you have to hold it down. It's not holding it down. It's going like this.
I have
This
a
is
love-hate
why
relationship with that
Zia
button.
cannot do the button, guys. And you have to blow it off.
Thank you so much, Benjamin.
Wait a minute, I have to pull out the
Wait,
camera.
where are your?
Oh
all right,
no, I have to
this
do
one.
something here. All right, guys, this is where I lose all of you. All right.
No, that one's where you're really gonna screw up. All right, reach over to the front of the camera on your right hand side. Did it over, over. Oh, there you go. Front right hand. Here.
I'm standing up. Go ahead.
She's never used a camera before.
Oh,
All right, you see that little lever?
yeah.
All right, pull that lever.
This lever?
On the camera, Dippy.
What camera? Okay, you know, if you use words better. Oh, that's a lever? Okay. That's a button.
That's a button. That's a button. Which turns it off, so don't do that.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Obviously, I am the technologically inclined
She just thinks
sister.
with a bad vocabulary.
Excuse me, I am the best speller in the family. Thank you very much.
What
Right, cover your
boring
ears.
bomb did you find?
It was the one that was right here.
That's a boring bomb.
Cover
But
your
okay,
ears.
go
You
do
ready?
a boring bomb. Yay!
Woo!
Boring bomb!
Thank you, Benjamin.
Woo!
All right, so being as this does not go through the usual Neal Adams stuff, you are going to have to contact me since you're on Facebook. I'm pretty sure you and I are Facebook friends, so just send me a direct message, please. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Yay!
Okay.
That was a very Muppet year.
That was a very muffet.
But I
Okay,
am a
guys.
Muppet.
So
Okay.
basically, Happy Tower 6 is awesome.
All right, I have one other thing I want to show tonight.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
One more for Zia.
One more for Zia. Well, because since the last one was very popular,
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh my god.
I had to do another one.
She did another one, which now
All right,
means
this one has dog pool on it. I will come and help you with the camera.
I'm doing the
It's
camera.
There
I
you go.
could have done
I
that.
know you could have done that, but you don't know about the lighting.
Oh my lighting.
Lighting. Okay, so this is an 8-inch by 8-inch canvas. This is done with acrylic paint. It is original artwork. It is Deadpool and Wolverine with dog pool. Woohoo! This piece is also $300 for anybody interesting.
So-
Benjamin says, I'm signing off before I buy anything else
And
tonight.
hand painted.
Hand
Oh
painted.
my god. Wolverine and Deadpool with the ugly freaking dog.
The ugly freaking dog actually turned out really freaking cute. Oh,
And
yes.
everybody loves an ugly freaking dog.
There is that, yes.
So there we go. Again, this is part of Zia's voodoo dolls. So Deadpool not having his, I forget what the
Swords,
swords are.
katanas.
Katanas.
He's got pins.
He's got pins.
And Wolverine's claws are actually pins, although his hand is dormant.
Right.
Wait,
The
so you
dog
can't see
does
the
not
little-
have pins, which is probably good for PETA.
Yeah.
So you've passed
We don't.
that.
You don't want to piss off PETA.
And
do
we're
not.
selling this for $300, original on canvas, pen, ink, and color. And the price on this is $300. Nice piece by Z, original art, voodoo dolls, which are catching on because we hear Funko's doing.
Funko is doing voodoo dolls. Too. Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
And I'm just like,
I saw that.
interesting, Z, but we won't say anything.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, I don't know who started it, so I can't really say.
You want to know where voodoo dolls started? Voodoo dolls started because actually Terry Weberman asked us today.
Okay.
Neal Adams, we have to go
Well,
back
yes,
to the
there
master,
is. Yes, yeah.
did a Joker. I don't know who owns this, but we have sold it. What?
There were actually two,
Okay.
but
we
Dad.
showed him one of them,
Yes,
which Dad drew a Joker holding a voodoo doll of Robin.
and he was holding a gun up against him.
Right, or he's shaking Robin.
Yeah.
That's the other one. And then
Robin is looking very distressed.
we sold that 1,000,000 years ago, but Zia wanted desperately to color that voodoo doll.
I did.
When Dad did it, she begged to color it. And he was like, okay. As if, who else was coloring it, Z? You're so insane sometimes.
That is true.
And then basically, Z and I were at a convention in Baltimore. And
It was like the end of the day.
it was the end of the
I
day.
had finished all my commissions and I was bored, and I had a new pen that I got from Stuart Sager. It's called a parallel pen. They're fun to play with. I highly recommend it, but they're hard to work with.
Mhm.
And I got bored,
Okay.
and I asked Chris, "What should I do now?"
Right.
And she said, "Do the Robin voodoo doll."
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through drawing that Robin voodoo doll,
Ooh.
somebody came in.
I'm going to make everybody nauseous.
That's okay.
Okay.
Somebody came by and asked if that voodoo doll was already sold. And I said, no. He goes, how much? And I gave him a price, which was dead low because I really didn't think anybody would want it. And by the time I had finished the first Robin, a second person came over and said, is that one claimed? And I said, yes. And he goes, can you do me another one? I said, sure. And he goes, can you do me a matching Batgirl? And it has just sort of
Grown.
snowballed from there. And it was, the last thing I felt like was going to be a thing for me was going to be these voodoo dolls, because it was really started off as just a doodle.
Right.
And it has kind of become this thing.
Well, it actually started off as like, oh my God, that's so cool, Dad. I need to color it.
Well, yes.
Into what then became a joke to me. When I said, Zia, do a voodoo doll, I was like joking.
Just throwing me some idea.
Right. And then it's taken off, and now she's got a whole series. She's the new Scotty Young, except she's gone voodoo doll.
I've gone voodoo doll.
So just imagine being in the front end of Scotty Young pieces right now is where Zia is with voodoo dolls. So do your investment now, because I know there are Scotty Youngs I wish I owned.
Well, and that was actually the other thing that the guy who had asked for the Robin and with a matching Batgirl, which those two came out really cute, was discussed. A lady had asked me about the stupid chicken that I drew, and the guy had said, look, many years ago I missed an opportunity to get a Neal Adams head sketch for $100.
Right.
And I am kicking myself in the ass for it now. Now here you have an opportunity to get an original Zia Adams drawing for this is dirt freaking cheap right now, which, it was just a freaking chicken. So I didn't, sell it for that much.
But it was a good freaking chicken.
It was a really good freaking chicken. Yes. Tell us more about the chicken.
It was a cool chicken.
I will post up pictures of the chicken. It was a very angry chicken.
It was an angry chicken. He's very colorful.
He's very colorful. Yeah, I did not use normal chicken colors on the chicken. No. I think it was green. I think I made him green. I'm not sure.
I remember him being very colorful.
Yeah. But yeah, I will post pictures of the chicken.
Right. And this was also the first convention we did after Dad had passed.
Yeah.
And we were
Baltimore.
still in gunshot.
Yeah.
Where am I? Who am I?
I had done one out in Long Island first, so I was able to I was kind of prepared for what was going to happen at this convention.
Right.
But for Chris, it was Chris's first.
Well, it was my
time
second,
back.
because actually New York Comic Con was my first convention.
Yes.
And then
And Happy Towers is saying my John Wick painting is a next level voodoo doll. Yep.
It is. It totally is. You are correct.
So if you guys are curious about what Happy Towers is talking about, if you go to my Facebook, which is Zia Adams, ZEEA ADAMS, or my Instagram, which is Zea1031, ZEEA1031. You can look at stuff that I've done
You
before.
just have to remember her name is Z.
Yes, ZEEA. Not Xena with an X and an N. Not Zira. Not Mia.
Or not Zia, like some people spell it as ZIA.
Right.
So
It's
she's
Z- it's
she
phonetic.
is not Zia. She is Zia.
Zia. Yes.
Exactly.
But yes, and these little paintings are serving me well. I actually have a couple of canvases that are 10
And
inch
she
by
will
20
still
inch.
do chickens. So
I
if
will
you-
still do
If
chickens,
you
yes.
fall in love with Zia's chickens, when she posts that tomorrow, you can get chickens from Zia.
And actually, not only does my younger brother have chickens that can photograph me reference, but my kid has a friend who has chickens that can photograph me some reference. So,
Exactly. And there are many chicken designs out there that you can do.
yes.
So anyway, if there's anything you saw tonight and you're watching us after like tomorrow or something, and you see something that you would like, you can always direct message us. The guy that bought the Thor drawing that everybody was kind of oohing and eyeing earlier today in color, he bought that not during while we were on. He bought that after the show. And even if you're interested in the record, which we started the show with, which has great sound effects for Halloween, I highly recommend it. All this stuff is available even after hours. You guys know I'll answer you at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. I think I'm amazing how fast I answer you guys at whatever hour it might be.
Well, because you don't turn your ringer off.
No, because I have children.
Yes.
And mostly I have a grandchild.
That are adults, but yes.
But I also have a grandchild.
Yes. Well, that's a good excuse.
So I will always answer most people. And you could always direct message us. So highly direct message us. And if you bought stuff tonight, direct message us. I will catch you guys in the morning. Thank you for a fabulous show tonight. I actually had a lot of fun tonight.
I'll have to help you sign off there.
And Zia had a good night tonight.
I did.
We
Thank
will
you.
sign off with Zia's piece and Neal's backdrop back there. And Zia and I are going to say good night because we went to 10 o'clock tonight. So.
Holy
And
crap,
we
a
will
lot.
be back Friday. We are doing Friday nights early, like we're
Yeah,
doing.
they're
we're
Friday
doing-
afternoons.
They're Friday afternoons. And
Usually about 5 o'clock.
yeah,
Yeah,
is when we come
Eastern
on.
Standard Time.
But again, you can always direct message us. If you see it, just put it away and watch it when you want to. So we're going to say goodnight. Thank you very much for buying from us tonight. We appreciate it. It keeps us alive here at Continuity. And thank you. Say goodnight, Z.
Good night, Z.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.